You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
All writers are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of a short story through to line edits of a full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Defending liberty 1 hour at a time and broadcasting live from the RWB Network studios in New York City, this is the Ryno Report. Always right.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We are going to make America great again.
My fellow Americans, let's roll.
And now, here's your host, the Ryno.
Oh, I am
the Ryno, and this is my report. Today, Tuesday, April 4th, 2017, and we are coming to you from the RWB Network Studios here in New York, and broadcasted by CRN Digital Talk Radio. So 10 years ago, websites like WebMD turned us all into either first-year medical students or severe hypochondriacs. The internet can be good for a lot of things, but perhaps not really for legal advice. I don't know. We're going to have to check with this guy, Justin Moret. 22 years old. He was arrested in Port St. Lucie, Florida. He was arrested for driving without a license and not having insurance. When he was in the back of the police cruiser, he purportedly said, "That's the last time I listened to Wikipedia about driving. It said I would just get a ticket." He thought he was just going to get a ticket. No big deal. No license, no registration, no insurance, no problem, right? No problem. He was arraigned, and he's scheduled to appear in court on April 11th. He's free on an $1,125 bond. So the moral of the story here is do not look for legal advice on Wikipedia. You know, a lot of people don't realize Wikipedia is like open source. You can just go in there and change whatever you want. It's such a terrible place to get information. So I guess this guy, Justin, learned a lesson the hard way. Maybe he'll just spend the $300 and get his license and get some insurance back. That would make the most sense. All right, we have a lot to get to today. We have an update on the border wall, and some of these contractors who are bidding the project, they have some serious concerns and questions for the federal government about their safety. We'll talk about that. Also, speaking of safety, should Reince Priebus and Stephen Bannon be worried about their jobs? Is there a new sheriff in town that really has the president's ear? Also, we'll talk a little bit about health care. It seems like maybe there's already another bill on its way. I didn't think it was going to happen this quickly, but it seems like some of the heavy hitters in Washington are going to work and trying to get another bill hammered out, and now the House Freedom Caucus may be on board. We also got to talk about the latest developments in regards to the Obama administration spying. Lots of stuff going on here. We have new information that's leaving a lot of people anxious to see Susan Rice and Evelyn Farkas under oath in front of the Senate. Also, last thing here, it looks like Black Lives Matter might be falling apart. And of course, you can blame white people for that. You don't want to miss this story. This is a real keeper, this one. As always, guys, you can follow me on Twitter at Ryno on Air. That's at Ryno, R-Y-N-O on Air. You can always check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/The Ryno Report. Check out the old shows on demand on RynoReport.com. And you can always email me. Questions, concerns, comments. If you got a story you want me to talk about, send it to Ryno, R-Y-N-O, at rwbnetwork.com. We have a lot to go over. Busy Tuesday. Hang in there. Hey guys, Ryan the Ryno DeSico here for my friends at Liberty HealthShare. If your health care has become a burden and you're worried about being stuck for another year, listen up, because you do have options. Liberty HealthShare could be the solution to your problem. Open enrollment is here, and this could be your chance to free yourself from insurance. Take this opportunity and join Liberty HealthShare. You can finally be in control and have freedom when it comes to your health care. Liberty HealthShare offers an entirely open network, which means you choose your own doctors and you choose your own hospitals. Liberty HealthShare offers freedom from insurance, meaning there are no related tax penalties. To find out how you can easily make the change, call Liberty HealthShare today at 855-585-4237 or visit their website at libertyhealthshare.org. That's libertyhealthshare.org. Do it today. All right, welcome back to the show. A quick little break there. We have a lot to cover, but as always, big shout-outs to everyone listening on Red Nation Rising Radio, Streaming Talk Radio, KLRN Radio, of course, Western Free Press. They have a streaming player there. Got to check that out, and crntalk.com, or you can download the CRN app from your Google Play or iTunes store, and you can listen to us whenever you want, really. I mean, well, as long as it's 2 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, on that app, or if you go to RynoReport.com, you can listen on demand there, too, or listen live on your computer at work. So many ways to check out the show. So here in New York, April showers. Yep, it's been raining the last, 2-3 months. I have no idea. It's been raining for a long time. And April showers, of course, equals rainouts. So if you're waiting for your baseball team to play here in New York, probably not going to happen the next few days. So we got to talk about this border wall, right? A lot of talk about this. This was, a main part, of course, of President Trump's campaign. And really right out of the gate, when you go back to June 16th of 2015, this is really what got the ball rolling for him. And the bids are out. The RFPs went out, request for proposal. And there's a lot of different companies interested. About 200 companies signed up to get alerts from Homeland Security about the progress of these RFPs and what was going to be required of them. Because usually when something goes out, and I'll tell you from a contractor standpoint, when you get an RFP, 9 times out of 10, it will change 45 more times over the course of the next 3 or 4 weeks, and then you get everything and you put it together and you send it out, and then they do what's called a leveling process. So if they have bids from a lot of different contractors, somebody will be in charge of what's called leveling. And what that means is they want everybody to now put a price on specific things, so you can't throw things in here and intangibles there. Just what's the price for items 1 through 20. All right, so this is kind of a long process, but they're starting to whittle through it here. And the bids are due today. Actually, today the bids were due. And they're going to pick between 4 and 10 different bidders to build these prototypes. And the prototypes are going to be at the cost of the federal government. So they're going to pick the 4 or 10, whatever it is they like, and they'll pay to have each contractor build. I imagine it's probably just a section, because this wall is not going to go up. Like, you're not going to put up a 700-mile form and pour concrete in it. It's going to be sections, kind of like on the side of the highway where they lower these sections in. And so they're going to pay for all the different prototypes, and they're expecting to pay between $200,000 and $500,000 per prototype. So there's a lot of money just going into what you would call the R&D, if you will, the research and development on the government side here. And so, again, the wall has to be at least 18 feet tall. That's what they're saying. They'd like it to be 30 feet tall. Some of us would like it to be closer to, 400 feet tall. But 30 is okay. It has to have an anti-topping feature, so I guess Constantine wire or some kind of curve at the top that makes it hard to get over. It has to be impenetrable by hand tools for up to 4 hours for the first 12 feet of the wall, height-wise. I don't know what else you could bring in the middle of the desert besides hand tools. But so 4 hours there. So it's got to be pretty substantial. Probably crossed rebar, some sort of hydraulic cement, something that's going to be very, very hard to penetrate. Now, they're going to build, this is kind of funny, they're going to build these prototypes about 120 feet from the actual border in San Diego. So this is like showing them, this is our wall. These are, in fact, 10 different versions of the wall you may see along the southern border in the very near future. And there's going to be groups protesting and vigils and whatever they do. I'm not quite sure. But they're going to be there. And then they're going to start picking out. They think they're going to have the prototypes done by June 1st, which is kind of amazing if you think about just a couple of months to put together a section of wall. And then they're going to start figuring out how they're going to do this. Now, one of the items in the RFP is that the contractor has to provide a chain link fence to go around the work area, and that chain link fence has to have barbed or Constantine wire on top of it. Now, some of these contractors are starting to ask questions. They want to know how safe are their employees going to be. Now, most of these contractors, they have to be qualified. You have to have done like a $25 million project that was also a wall of some sort, secure wall. So most of these contractors who are bidding on this and will probably receive the contracts are ones that have already worked on the border in previous years, 20 years ago, whatever it was when they first started putting this wall together. But they're worried about the safety of the employees because it happens quite often that there's hot lead flying from the Mexican side of the border across to the U.S. side. So they want to know how they're going to handle this. And they had asked the government if they could be indemnified. So in other words, if they were to arm their workers with weapons, would they be allowed to have some sort of an allowability to carry these weapons in states where they probably couldn't, and I'm talking about you, California, and B, would they be indemnified if they have to use deadly force? If the lead's flying in their direction and they throw it back in the other direction, will they be indemnified? And the government is saying no. No, they will respond. If there's a hostile act, Border Patrol will respond. But if any of your employees carry a weapon, legally perhaps in whatever state they're in at the time, and they use deadly force, the government will not indemnify them. So that's concerning. It definitely is concerning. And that should make the liberals happy. But yeah, the government will provide the security when it comes to Border Patrol. But that's about it. You're responsible for your own on-site security. So whatever state you're in, you better make sure whoever you're employing to do the security force is able to carry, and they've taken their firearms classes and whatever other classes they need in whatever state you happen to be in. So this is interesting. It's moving along. It's moving along, and it's moving along at a time when we're seeing a lot of stories lately about gang violence, like MS-13. This is happening a lot now. You're seeing these stories pop up all over the place, even though you have a lot of mainstream media outlets trying to make sure you don't hear about them. Here in New York, we went through a situation a couple weeks ago. I told you guys about it here on air. There was an illegal alien deported 4 times in the span of 1 day, sexually assaulted a 2-year-old, and then stabbed 2 women. He had a busy day. MS-13 gang member deported 4 times. Now he's in custody. Who knows if they'll let him go or something and he'll disappear again into the night like they do in these sanctuary areas. And then you have this one in Virginia. 17-year-old boy mutilated by MS-13. 3 gang members arrested, a 19-year-old, a 24-year-old, and a 21-year-old, all illegal. Some of them wanted on other crimes. They cut his hands off, they cut his throat, they stabbed him 16 times and ran him over with a car 3 times. Illegal aliens committing crimes in this country. So that wall has to go up, but it's got to go up quick. It's got to go up really, really quick. I think they'll get it done. This is lightning speed when it comes to government red tape. They already have these bids in and prototypes by June 1. All right, when we come back, I want to talk about Reince Priebus and Stephen Bannon. Are they looking over their shoulder? Is there somebody else that Donald Trump is listening to, and have they been good advice to this point? I think you guys know the answer. Hang in there.
Experience a luxury boutique hotel escape in the heart of Laguna Beach, California, with the finest art gallery, shopping, dining, and nightlife just steps from your door. The heart of Laguna Beach, the edge of the sea. It's the Inn at Laguna Beach. Enjoy our comfortable rooms, blending the style of a timeless beach bungalow with the modern comforts of today. 70 newly appointed guest rooms and suites await you at the Inn at Laguna Beach. Then, relax at the rooftop bar, where you'll indulge in breathtaking views of the ocean. For dining, you'll find libations and local cuisine on the California coastline, including dining at the legendary Las Brisas, a Southern California landmark. The Inn at Laguna Beach, footsteps from Rome to village to sea, located in the heart of Laguna Beach. The Inn is within walking distance of all that Laguna Beach has to offer. No car required. The Inn at Laguna Beach, 211 North Coast Highway in Laguna Beach, California. Call 800-544-4479 or visit innatlagunabeach.com.
Let me take just a moment or two, if I may, and talk about a great place to eat. That's right, for you folks anywhere in the eastern San Fernando Valley, drop into Bob's Big Boys. That's right, in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. Now, everybody remembers the name Bob's. They're getting bigger and bigger every day. Little old Bob carrying the hamburger in his checkered overalls is the same Bob that you remember from back through the years. And, of course, if you want to go in for a great lunch, remember their classic burger, the original double-deck hamburger combination. Delicious 100% pure ground beef in 2 patties with American cheese, lettuce, and our famous Big Boy's special sauce. The name is Bob, and I think when you go in, you'll say, by golly, I'm sure glad that I found this restaurant because it's good for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They've got all kinds of things, and all you have to do is remember. Bob's Big Boy in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. It's a great place to eat.
Hey there, did you know that with a bachelor's degree, on average, you could make almost twice as much over a lifetime than a person with just a high school diploma? It's true. According to the 2012 U.S. Census Bureau, college grads with a bachelor's degree make almost twice as much as high school grads. Now, going back to school is easier than ever at Independence University. Log on and complete coursework from the park, or the beach, or even your couch watching the kids. And Independence University gives you the tools, a free tablet and laptop for undergrad students to use and keep when they graduate. That's right. Get a laptop so you can go to college from anywhere. Take the first step to a new career in business, information technology, healthcare, or graphic arts. Call to find the online degree program that's right for you, and you could be on your way to increasing your earning potential.
800-989-1361. 800-989-1361. That's 800-989-1361.
On this Tuesday. Hopefully your day is going all right. Hope it's going well. You know, it's kind of like that time of year where you're dragging a little bit, right? The winter's over. It's not quite warm out. It's not that cold out anymore. It's not snowing. It's drizzly. It's rainy. If you're down in the southeast, you guys got to watch out. Keep an eye on the sky because the weather, it's been pretty brutal. Big storms, tornadoes, the whole thing. Probably going to be an active year this year for hurricanes, they're saying. So, but this is that time of year where you start getting sick, right? You think you made it through the wintertime, and then all of a sudden, like March, April, early May rolls around, and then you're sick as a dog. Like, that's kind of what's going on now. But get through it. I contend that if spring didn't follow winter, we would hate it. It would be the most hated season ever. We only like it because it follows winter. Other than that, it's rainy, it's chilly. You don't like it. You like spring. Spring sucks. All right. So I wonder if Steve Bannon and Reince Priebus are looking over their shoulder a little bit. Now, I'm not breaking any news here. We all know that Jared Kushner, of course, Ivanka's husband, is very, very involved in the administration. And he is somebody that has the ear of the president. And, you know, perhaps that's a good thing. I don't fall for this stuff about family not being involved. You know what? If they're the best person for the job, you got to hire them. And that's the way someone like a Donald Trump operates. Now, he has been rather influential. We know that he's now going to be in charge of this White House Office of American Innovation, and that's important. It's going to meet with business leaders. They're going to meet with people from Apple and from Microsoft and SpaceX, and really, I mean, modern-day innovators. It's like the old Carnegies and the Rockefellers. That's what it is now, and you got to get these people involved. You got to get them involved in the whole process. He's also going to tackle things like the opioid epidemics and the VA stuff, things that Kellyanne Conway used to handle. And I say used to because I don't want to say she's fallen out of favor, but her role has definitely been diminished, where you see someone like Jared Kushner, his role has definitely been inflated quite a bit. Now, he stayed pretty mum when it came to health care. They were off skiing or whatever, and he stayed away from Washington when that was all going on. But to this point, he has done an awful lot. I mean, he's single-handedly submarined Chris Christie. Chris Christie was going to be the VP choice. Him and Donald Trump are good friends. Forget the Bridgegate stuff. That's a big nothing burger, the Bridgegate thing. But there's a checkered past between Kushner's father and Chris Christie, and that did it in. And, of course, Kushner, of course, was said or rumored to have a large say when it came to replacing Corey Lewandowski. Again, see, Donald Trump relies on people who are very, very close to him. And I don't know how close Priebus and Bannon are outside of a professional relationship. It's hard to trust people when it's only a professional relationship. It's much easier to trust them when, see, someone like Kushner, he's been observing for years, right? He's his son-in-law. He's married to his daughter. Like, he has a good knowledge of the type of person he is and the type of advice he gives, and he sees him in action not only on a business end but also in a personal end. And I think that's why this role is growing. And if you don't like it, you're going to have to get used to it, because he's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. Now, you also have Kushner was the one that arranged that meeting with the Mexican president, right before that big immigration speech he gave. He arranged, and that thing worked out brilliantly. See, Hillary didn't want to go down and talk to the Mexican president. Trump, this is what I think a lot of people saw, and it made a lot of sense. Here's candidate Donald Trump making a lot of very fiery, very inflammatory statements about Mexico, and then he goes and meets with their leader. See, that's something these Democrats don't do very well. They're not very good at the face-to-face thing, right? They're the kind of person that throws a rock at you and then runs away. This was confrontation. This was, not only am I going to accuse them of sending criminals here, and not only am I saying they're going to pay for the wall, but I'm going to go down there to their turf, and I'm going to tell it right to his face. And I think a lot of people saw that and said, you know what? There is a show of American strength. And that was all orchestrated by Jared Kushner. So I think when it comes down to Priebus, I think the healthcare thing was a big fail for him. And that may have been the first in a series of big problems, and perhaps the beginning of the end for Ryno Priebus. Now, Stephen Bannon, a little different. He has the in with what you call the anti-establishment, right? So he may last a little bit longer, but he seems, according to reports, to be a little worried that his influence may be dying out. All right, when we come back, we'll talk about healthcare, we'll talk about Susan Rice, and when will they start sending out subpoenas?
This is the Mungle on Movies. I'm Matt Mungle. Going in Style opens up this week. It's about 3 lifelong pals who have to risk everything to do a daring bid to knock off a bank that took off with their money. Alan Arkin co-stars and says this about the story.
It's about 3 elderly gentlemen. The company that has been monitoring their pension is going overseas, and they turned it over to a bank. We decided to rob the bank.
For more reviews, interviews, and movie info, visit mungleshow.com or follow me on Twitter at @themungle.
Come to Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante in Fullerton, California for our sizzling party savings. Book your wedding event or reception, your birthday bash, or a special event of any kind and celebrate at Angelo's and Vinci's. Come to Angelo's and Vinci's and celebrate in one of our many festive banquet rooms. It's an incredible fun event you will never forget. Food, music, and lots of fun. Call for the details, and don't forget our daily lunch and dinners, plus our Sunday champagne brunch. Just $14.95. Minestrone soup, sausage and peppers, pastas, chicken dishes, salads, scones, and muffins. Plus so much more. A chocolate fondue fountain, Zeblis, cannolis, fresh fruit, champagne, and Junior will be waiting to make the omelet of your choice from our omelet bar. Angelo's and Vinci's has been voted on the Orange County Hot List as one of the top 5 Italian restaurants for the past 6 years. And don't forget our award-winning pizzas. Thin or thick, they're yummy. All at Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022. 714-879-4022.
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares. First or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? pick up your phone and call Smart Fares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644. 800-915-2644. 800-915-2644. 800-915-2644.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Hi, friends. This is Larry Manetti. Go to LarryManetti.com to get my book, Aloha Magnum. You'll read all about the wonderful guest stars like Carol Burnett, Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, and many, many more. There is an episode guide and my favorite recipes that I really cook at home. I will include a free signed photo with every book. Get Aloha Magnum at LarryManetti.com. Order now. Aloha.
All right, guys, welcome back to the show. Check out all the old episodes, iTunes, TuneIn, Spreaker, Stitcher, Podbean, iHeartRadio, or RynoReport.com. They're all right there, and you can sign up for the newsletter and check out all the Ryno rants and the articles and lots of cool stuff there. So, I wanted to talk about Kushner. I mean, again, we're not breaking any news there. That's something that's always going to be there, and mainstream media could not wait to hammer this as soon as the president was inaugurated. Oh, he's got his son-in-law in the White House, and you know what? I don't know about you, but I haven't heard boo from Don Jr. or Eric since the inauguration. I know that's by design. I get that. But it's not like the entire family is sitting there trying to figure out how they can whack the country up a little finer amongst the Trumps. That's not what's happening here. And I think it's important to talk about Kushner because that leads us into Reince Priebus. And is Reince Priebus a short-termer? Is he a long-termer? Because, from the day you're elected, you have to start thinking about the next election. And I know, that sucks. I totally get it. It's terrible to have to think about because of just how long and drawn out this last process was. But you got to start looking towards 2020. I believe they wanted Reince to make it at least through 2020. After that, you can get rid of him, you can cut bait and do whatever you want. But you got to remember, it's kind of like baseball. Wins in April count in September. So anything that happens now, it's not like you're going to totally forget about it when it comes to 2020. They're pretty good at rewinding the tape when they want to, right? The media, especially the big three. So we got to start wondering about where Reince Priebus fits into all this, because someone like a Louis Gohmert out of Texas, and of course a great member of the House Freedom Caucus, he's kind of saying that he thinks it was Priebus and Paul Ryan that totally torpedoed this whole healthcare thing. Apparently, the House Freedom Caucus had a deal in principle. We heard that that Thursday night before the unhappy hour on Friday. That Thursday night, all we could hear about was this deal in principle, right? Mark Meadows and Louis Gohmert. Well, apparently they had twice the president agreed to whatever it was they were talking about. And then the Freedom Caucus left, and Trump met with Paul Ryan and with Reince Priebus, and all of a sudden, no deal, right? Deal or no deal, no deal. So you wonder how much that's getting in the way. Because, of course, Priebus is there to be the attaché or the liaison, if you will, to the establishment. And you have to have that because there are people out there who consider themselves to be moderate Republicans. I know there's not a lot, just like there aren't a lot of moderate Democrats. But there are people, they are voters, they do go out there. Because if they identify as something, they're going to vote. If you just say, I don't know what I am, I don't know, I like this guy, I like that girl, whatever it is, the chances of you being a voter are not high. But if you identify, the chances go up astronomically. So it becomes, what do you do with someone like Priebus if he starts to get in the way? If this establishment part of the agenda, which there has to be a little bit there, if it starts to become a larger part of the whole, is it time to cut bait with Priebus now and find somebody else? Somebody who can relate with the establishment but perhaps not be their advocate, because that's really what he is. I mean, he has a lot of stuff on his plate. I get that. It's a busy job. Chief of Staff is not one of these things where you sit around twiddling your thumbs. But he's there for the connection to the GOP, little e. And if someone like Louis Gohmert is starting to come out and say that he's a problem, the House Freedom Caucus was the only group of people that really stood behind the president, where everybody else was running for the hills. Remember when Paul Ryan said he wasn't ready to endorse him? Well, who the hell are you? You know, they stood there, and they said no. He was getting hammered during the primaries. Donald Trump was getting hammered in Wisconsin. Every single talk show host, every Tom, Dick, and Harry with a microphone in front of their face who considered themselves to be mildly conservative was going after Trump. The House Freedom Caucus stood with him, or the members who were with him at the time stood with him. They didn't flee. Billy Bush, they didn't flee. The very beginnings of the Russian accusations in late October, early November, they didn't flee. So at some point, you're going to have to make this decision of which direction the majority of your policy is going to go in. And as it stands right now, I choose to go in the direction of the House Freedom Caucus. If they think they are the ones that have been spending a lot of time thinking about Obamacare. They are the ones that have won a lot of elections talking about repealing and replacing. Not someone like Paul Ryan. He didn't win, and not these Chris Collins and these guys up in the north. They didn't win their elections on repeal and replace. It was the ones in the House Freedom Caucus who really utilized that and probably have a much better plan if they're ever allowed to let it see the light of day. Because they know, in their heart of hearts, they know it can't be a full repeal. There's just no way. That is political suicide for someone like President Trump. Because you repeal it, and then you wait 6 months, and you can't do that. It's got to be a bam-bam thing. Repeal one day, replace the next. Repeal 1 hour, replace the next hour. But is Reince Priebus really getting in the way? Now, they're saying that there may be a new sort of deal in the works. Some people want to get this to the floor this week. No. Totally back away from that one. Let it sink in. Let the rollout go as planned. Let people ask questions. Let people read it. This is a very important topic. Perhaps one of the most important topics. And I know we'll get to the Susan Rice stuff. That's important. But that can wait in terms of when they go on trial and when a cell is available in Danbury. That can wait a little bit. The healthcare, this thing is set to unravel. So while I don't want a vote tomorrow, a vote perhaps before they go off on their 25-week vacation, if they could do that, that would be great. But the rollout has to be there. Now, when we come back, I'll tell you about there's two little things that the House Freedom Caucus and the president, the White House, and perhaps even his chief of staff may be okay with. We're not sure about Paul Ryan. So he's a real wild card, this guy. We don't know. He's so unpredictable. I say that in jest, of course. So I'll tell you about those two things when we come back, and then we'll talk about Susan Rice, and we'll talk about Evelyn Farkas, and we'll talk about the missing in action, Barack Obama. Where is he? Where is this guy? Hey guys, Ryan the Ryno DeSico here for my friends at Liberty Health Share. If your healthcare has become a burden and you're worried about being stuck for another year, listen up, because you do have options. Liberty Health Share could be the solution to your problem. Open enrollment is here, and this could be your chance to free yourself from insurance. Take this opportunity and join Liberty Health Share. You can finally be in control and have freedom when it comes to your healthcare. Liberty Health Share offers an entirely open network, which means you choose your own doctors and you choose your own hospitals. Liberty Health Share offers freedom from insurance, meaning there are no related tax penalties. To find out how you can easily make the change, call Liberty Health Share today at 855-585-4237 or visit their website at libertyhealthshare.org. That's libertyhealthshare.org. Do it today.
Hey there, did you know that with a bachelor's degree, on average, you could make almost twice as much over a lifetime than a person with just a high school diploma? It's true. According to the 2012 U.S. Census Bureau, college grads with a bachelor's degree make almost twice as much as high school grads. Now, going back to school is easier than ever at Independence University. Log on and complete coursework from the park, or the beach, or even your couch watching the kids. And Independence University gives you the tools, a free tablet and laptop for undergrad students to use and keep when they graduate. That's right, get a laptop so you can go to college from anywhere. Take the first step to a new career in business, information technology, healthcare, or graphic arts. Call to find the online degree program that's right for you, and you could be on your way to increasing your earning potential.
800-989-1361. 800-989-1361. That's 800-989-1361.
All right, guys, welcome back to the show. So we're going to talk a little bit, another minute about healthcare, and then we're off of it until we have to talk about it again. Who knows, tomorrow. But see, on that Thursday before the unhappy hour, when the bill got pulled, and then in the preceding week or two, nobody really knew what the two sides were. You had the House Freedom Caucus saying, well, we're still negotiating, and there's some things in it we don't like. Right, and if you belong to a heritage or something like that, you probably think you know what the answer is, but the average person just didn't know. It was this backroom fighting in the middle of a circus. So it was the mainstream media, and they're all fighting. It's Ryan care is good, Trump care is good, and then the other people saying, "Oh, it's not good, but no one ever gave you a reason why it wasn't good, right? What was it that they were really fighting over when it got into these private meetings with the president and with his whole council and staff? And apparently it's come down to two things, right? There's the essential health benefits mandate, which was in Ryan Care. And what that is, that essentially just dictates what an insurer must cover. And then there was also this community health rating, which prohibits charging higher premiums based on how much you use the insurance, which is kind of silly. So the House Freedom Caucus wanted these two out. They wanted them out because they thought that would really bring down premiums. And that makes a lot of sense, because if you don't use your health insurance a lot and your neighbor does, and you're both paying the same amount, who's really getting the most out of it? That's not how a free market works. So they want it out. And Ryan and Priebus, they wanted it in. So now the deal is, get this. This is what it's come to. It's come to an entire public spectacle to come down to, well, why don't we make it optional? Well, geez, why couldn't we think of that 4 weeks ago? Why don't we make it optional? Let the states determine it. Oh, what a novel idea. I don't know, the 10th Amendment? What a novel idea this is. It took all that. It took being dragged through the mud on every single network, including the conservative ones, to come up with, let's make this optional? I can't believe it. It becomes the problem in D.C. Why could this not have been figured out sooner? Now, I guess Vice President Pence, he's the one sort of pushing this now and saying, all right, we'll leave it up to the states. The states want to get a waiver, and they can make this optional. We'll make that available to them. Well, sounds like problem solved to me, right? I mean, there's some little things here and there you got to fix too, but those are two pretty major things. But why couldn't that have been done before? Why was everybody hardlining it? You have to come to compromise, especially within your own party. And I know there are you out there on the far right who think I'm crazy for saying we should compromise, but that's how you get things done. You have to compromise sometimes. If we can't compromise with ourselves, how the hell are we going to work with the left? So let's use this majority, and let's come to internal compromises. And there it is, make it an option. You know, a 4-year-old could have figured that out. Unreal. All right. So let's talk about Susan Rice, and let's talk about this Evelyn Farkas. You know, it's so funny. I love watching these people because you show them videos of themselves saying something. It could have been a half an hour prior, and they're going to say, I didn't say that. It wasn't me. Like that Shaggy song, right? It wasn't me. That's what it is. You have this Evelyn Farkas. She was on some panel somewhere, and she was asked the question about what Hillary's policies were going to be. This is before the election. And part of her answer, she said, and actually, if Donald Trump were elected, I believe he would be impeached pretty quickly, or somebody else would have to take over the government. I'm not even joking. That's what she said. This is recorded. If it's on 8-track, maybe it's on Betamax, it's recorded. No, nothing happened. I never said that. And then, of course, you have her MSNBC thing we've all seen, where she admitted to the gathering of information, the disseminating of information, and then the covering up of said dissemination. And no, that's not what happened. Tries to walk it back. She's got a lawyer up. She's in a total fecal storm right now. She got a lawyer up. And now, of course, with Susan Rice, who claimed on PBS on March 22nd that she knew nothing about the unmasking of names. In fact, she was surprised to see Chairman Nunes talk about it. Yeah, I bet she was real surprised. No, she was not aware of any orders given to disseminate information. She knows nothing. Boy, that sounds... How many times did Hillary say, I do not recall? If you can't recall 39 times, you either have Alzheimer's, dementia, or you're lying. Those are the 3 options. I know nothing about this. Well, all right, let's keep digging. Because now we're hearing from a lot of very credible sources that she actually instructed these intelligence agencies to compile spreadsheets of these phone calls of the people they were spying on. And there are former U.S. attorneys out there saying that they weren't even talking to foreign entities. This was flat-out spying a year before the election. They used the #1 intelligence gathering agency in the world, the known universe, to spy on a political opponent. And what credibility does Susan Rice has? Didn't she call Bergdahl like an upstanding person or something? Remember the Benghazi thing? The video? She's caught lying all the time. And of course, who else is involved in this? Well, Ben Rhodes, right? Wasn't he involved in the Benghazi thing too? They worked together to come up with this plan to say it was a YouTube video. I think that guy's still in jail. This is getting very, very deep for them, and they're going to have no way out. Their one friend right now is mainstream media, and we'll talk about them when we get back, because what they're doing is despicable.
Mortgage rates are at all-time lows. If you have not refinanced your current mortgage in the last few years, you could be losing thousands of dollars a year by paying too high of an APR. And the place to call is LendingTree to find out how low you can go. We can match you with lenders offering some of the lowest rates APRs available. Some APRs are lower than 3%. Imagine how much money you can save every month if your current mortgage is at 6% or higher. And all it takes is one free call to LendingTree to match you with a lender who may be able to lower your current home mortgage rate. Learn how to potentially save thousands by refinancing your current mortgage. Call LendingTree right now. NMLS 1136.
800-628-5067. 800-628-5067. 800-628-5067. That's 800-628-5067.
Located in the heart of Maui's premier resorts, Kaanapali Beach Hotel is officially recognized as Hawaii's most Hawaiian hotel and the #1 best value in Hawaii. With a range of accommodations and affordable dining options, this is the ideal setting to turn Hawaiian dreams into lifelong memories. Live Hawaiian entertainment every evening, free year-round children's programs, weekly arts and crafts fairs, welcome breakfast, and departure kukui lei ceremonies add to the value. Swim in the whale-shaped pool, indulge in the fabulous spa and hotel salon. Enjoy Hawaiian hospitality at its best at the Kaanapali Beach Hotel. Call 800-262-8450 or go to kbhmaui.com. That's kbhmaui.com. Aloha.
Kaanapali Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares first or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644.
So you've missed the healthcare deadline and don't have any form of healthcare? Liberty HealthShare has the answer. Liberty HealthShare offers an affordable healthcare option that allows Americans to enroll any time of the year. For those of you who have already enrolled but just aren't satisfied with what you've chosen, there's still hope. Liberty HealthShare allows Americans to control, manage, and direct their health care, yet still be in good standing with the Affordable Care Act. Members are exempt from the tax penalty and mandates imposed on individuals for not having health care insurance, thus giving you freedom from insurance. Liberty HealthShare empowers their members by giving them the ability to choose any doctor or hospital across the nation. Memberships are for individuals, couples, and families, offering a variety of options to best suit an individual's medical needs. If you're a freedom-loving American like myself, looking for contract-free health care, then this is for you. For more information on how to enroll at any time of the year, call 855-585-4237 or visit libertyhealthshare.org to request a free estimate. Do it today.
This is Jeff Carlisi from the Band 38 Special. Let us never forget that police lives matter.
You're listening to the Ryno Report, always right, on the RWB Network.
The Republicans want to repeal it. You know, they actually, with a straight face, say that the Great Recession was caused by too much regulation on Wall Street. They actually say that. You know, I remember when, you know, I've supported my husband through all of his races in Arkansas. And one of my favorite political ads of all time was a radio ad, rural Arkansas, where the announcer said, wouldn't it be great if somebody running for office said something, we could have an immediate reaction as to whether it was true or not? Well, we've trained this dog. And the dog, if it's not true, he's going to bark. And then the dog was barking on the radio. And so, you know, people were like barking at each other for days after that. I'm trying to figure out how we can do that with the Republicans. You know, we need to get that dog and follow them around, and every time they say these things, like, oh, you know, the Great Recession was caused by too much regulation. Arf, 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 you know? I think we could cut right through a lot of their their claims.
All right, guys, welcome back to this final segment of today's show. Check out the old episodes on iTunes, TuneIn, Spreaker, Stitcher, Podbean, iHeartRadio, or RynoReport.com. So, Susan Rice, big trouble? Evelyn Farkas, big trouble? Yeah, I hope so. Taking these names, unmasking the names of private citizens who were caught incidentally on surveillance. If you buy that, I'm telling you, we're all being surveilled all the time, and that's not a conspiracy theory tin hat thing. Your phones, they get all of our metadata, and metadata is the most important thing. Who you're calling and for how long, you can figure out an awful lot. You can fill in the blanks pretty easily with that kind of information. So Susan Rice, reportedly here, the unmasker, has spreadsheets, disseminates the information. Farkas is surprised in June why she hasn't heard any of these leaks coming out yet. Come on, guys, we orchestrated this. This should be coming out. Where is it? Any day now. Our candidate is about to be interviewed by the FBI. Where is this stuff about Donald Trump? I'm paraphrasing, because that's essentially what she said. And the mainstream media, they are covering this whole thing up. They'd rather talk about Russian interference or Trump collusion, things that are nothing. There's no evidence of any collusion between Donald Trump and the Russians. There's reports, there's unnamed sources, there's investigations. And with the Russian interference, nobody came here and changed the voting machines. What they're saying is the Russians put out these clickbait articles that apparently we're all too stupid to figure out aren't real, and that it swayed the votes. So these Hillary supporters are so stupid that they'll read these clickbait articles and go, oh my God, I gotta vote for Trump. The real investigation here is this unmasking of the names, the spying on a political opponent using the world's #1 intelligence gathering agency. That's the issue here. Don Lemon on CNN says he will not talk about the story. He won't talk about it. Jake Tapper says the Russian interference is a much more important story. ABC wouldn't touch this story. NBC wouldn't touch this story. CBS did it for 45 seconds last night, only to defend Susan Rice. They wonder why we call them fake news. They're all fake news. This is the biggest political scandal in the history of this country. And the House and the Senate, these committees have to subpoena. There has to be a separate investigation into this. You cannot combine the three. The Russian interference, the collusion, and this, because they start washing each other out, which is what some people want. There needs to be a totally separate commission. A whole different investigation. And you got to get these people on record. Because mainstream media is going to cover. They did it for Hillary, they did it for Barack, and they're doing it for now Susan Rice, and they're doing it for this Evelyn Farkas, and perhaps Loretta Lynch, and maybe Ben Rhodes, and perhaps even Barack Obama again. Because I guarantee you, if Susan Rice knows, if Ben Rhodes knows, if Loretta Lynch knows, if Brennan knows, I bet you Obama knows. Bet you. I wanted to get to this Black Lives Matter story today. We're not going to do it. We'll do it tomorrow. This is a good one. But, yeah, you can blame us white people. We're the ones tearing apart Black Lives Matter, apparently. Oh, last little thing here. Supposedly, according to WAPO, climate change can cause PTSD. Yeah. Repeated exposure to extreme weather. People could develop post-traumatic stress disorder from climate change. Oh, my God, it gets better by the day. They are floundering. I don't know, guys. Oh, well. Thanks for checking out the show today. Hope you had a good time. A big thank you to all those serving our country at home and abroad. A big thank you to those in the law enforcement community. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for all the hard work. Please keep it up. And above all, please stay safe. God bless all of you. God bless all of your families. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. And until tomorrow, be on the Ryno.